Hello viewers, welcome back to the Moose Mobile Auto Repair channel. And today I'm going to be replacing the front stabilizer links because they are worn out and they have a play in them. So when I push up and down on this, you're able to hear some play and noise. As you can see here, the studs are pretty rusty here. So to make things easier, you probably want to grab a wire wheel or maybe a wire brush and clean the threads so it will make removal easier. You know, some guys, they may use a torch to heat these up to get them off easier. So I'm going to start at the bottom one here. You guys may not be able to see everything 100% because I need some room to work here. So I'm just going to grab the wire wheel and to clean a little bit of the rust here. And excuse me about my voice. I'm a little bit sick, so I have a sore throat. So my voice is not the greatest at the moment. We're going to do the same for the top. So using the wire wheel, it may not work very well, so you have other options. You can either use heat or you can spray some penetrating oil, and it may help, but you can at least try. Or you can soak these overnight and see if they help. So I'm gonna try to see if I'm able to fit in an impact here. The bottom and the top ones are both 17 millimeter nuts. You may or may not be able to fit an impact here, so I'm not sure if it's going to work actually. So I'm just probably going to use a wrench to break it loose first. I'm going to try to loosen it up now. I'm just using a map torch. I do have a map and oxygen, but I don't feel like hooking it up at the moment. So I'm just going to use these. Map torch works fine. You just need to be a little bit patient to warm it up. There you go. It's loosened now a little bit. You may need to get a vice grip after to hold down the socket. Sometimes on these Hondas, you can use a pry bar here and to pry off the ball here until the ball is exposed. Usually the bottom ones are usually the hardest to do. The top ones are usually easier. Sometimes you're able to break these loose, just to break them completely, and then it'll be a lot easier. Then all you need to do is use a vice grip on the ball. Here's the plastic piece. Remove the rubber, and now you can get access to it by attaching a vice grip on the ball, and it'll be a million times easier. I'm just gonna try to cut the nut off here so I can get the nut off. You have to be careful when doing this because you don't want to cause damage to other components. I know you guys are not able to see too well, so I made a cut here and accidentally hit the sway bar a little bit. Not too much of a huge deal. You need to be careful. So I just made a cut there, and then we are going to remove the nut now. I'm gonna see if I can use a flat chisel here to break open the nut now. This is why I don't like to cut anything off, because high possibility of damaging other components. So we need to be careful. That's why I just like to be patient and heat things up. You can use an air hammer too, as well. So now I'm just using a carbide bit to grind down the nut. So I'm just grinding it down because the nut is not loosening up. So I'm just grinding it all down. This is typically my least favorite thing to do, because I don't really like grinding things down. I don't have access to an oxyacetylene torch. I'm just trying to be creative on what I have here. So now the nut has started to come off now. You can see, and now I just got it out. It's a pain in the butt, but this is the last case scenario or resort. So I don't really, it's my least favorite thing to do, but yeah, if I have to, then that's what I do. There's the remnants of the nut here. I'll grind it down now. And now we just have the stabilizer bar exposed. We have to get the other part off now. We have all the metal bits here now that's sitting on the control arm. So I'll probably wash that off after I'm done. So now we have the top part here. The top part is usually supposed to be the easiest one because you're able to put in an impact a wrench on there. So if you have a strong impact, then it makes things easier. So I'm just going to put a 17 on here and have something to grab on. I don't know if this is going to work, but you need to try to loosen up the nut first. Have a strong impact. It just spins, so you need to be able to grab onto here. On these Hondas, these links are very easy to break off, so you can break them off and have the ball exposed on them. So because the bottom piece is loose now, it's free, I can try to see if I can break it off so I can get access to the ball that's in the back here. You can also use a pry bar to get in behind there. Probably better off using a flat type of vice grip. It will grip onto the socket a lot easier if you're able to get inside there. And it's out. There's a lot of heat. I can see the smoke. I'm just gonna insert the nut here because I wanted to get it off the socket. So I'm using the Moog problem solver stabilizer links. I'm just adding grease onto the threads. Using this stabilizer link, these ones are 18. They have a flat here. So those are 18 and the nuts are also 18. So we just need to install the stabilizer links the same way. So you want to install the grease fittings in such a way so it's easy to access them. So I'm going to turn this over. Do it this way instead because I had these grease fittings pointed on in the other direction towards the axle, and it will be hard to grease them every time you service the vehicle. So the grease fitting is pointing outward, so it's easy to grease them, and the other one is facing on the inside here. I'm just gonna install the nuts now. I need to wipe my hands down because my hands are all grease and it's very hard to get a grip here. So we're going to do the top. There's a wrench flat here, which makes it easy to do the installation. Just need to tighten them down until they're tight and snug. You don't want to over tighten these. For this one you have to do it the manual way. Do it by hand. And keep doing this until it stops, and then just tighten it up a little bit. Just make sure you are double checking for play and to tug on the link. Make sure it's not loose, and then you should be all good to go. Then you just need to grease the fittings, and just make sure it's not loose or anything. And then you just need to grease the Zerk fittings or the grease fittings. And the one on the one side here too. Now I'm doing the other side, a stabilizer link. This side was a million times easier. Now I'm just doing the bottom now. I already removed the top. So an easier way to do it is you can take a long breaker bar or extension bar, or ratchet, and lay down on the floor, and then have the 17 millimeter socket, and then you can push down to give yourself some leverage. Still may need to heat this up as usual. I'm finding it a lot easier to do it this way. You may or may not need heat, depending on the situation. all that aggravation may not all be needed. You may be able to get away with it. You may need to push the vice grip upwards to readjust the position. And it's out. I dodged the bullet uh, on this side, and the nut here. You can see how badly rusted it is. So now we're just going to grease the fittings on both sides now. I just finished the other side. I'm using the Lucas, the red and tacky red grease. Any excess grease, I just like to grab some and just put it on the stud here. You can put anti-seize or grease, but grease, it works a lot better.